Yeah, buddy. Rolling like a big shot. Yo, check, check, check. Yo, all right. I'm about to eat right now, but I'm gonna just throw this on. You know what I'm saying? And while I eat, y'all can just absorb this information just like me. You feel me?
GG. Clicking the button now. GG.
All right. I'll be right back.
Yeah. In a bit, Sven. Okay, let's see. Okay, today's topic is gonna be trios. Probably gonna be a bit of fighting and a bit of how we play in finals. I'm gonna post it, Abdullah, yeah. So, basically, we kind of lost both the weeks we played to Chimp. And they have a pretty solid strategy as well. They're like playing 7 endgames out all the time in both weeks. And having like decent amount of kills, I would say. And for Pete, for example, we lost due to the fact that Raft was completely overcon. And then here we choked in the last game. This was basically, we could have stayed in the game and just dropped like a high bomb. Like, this would have been like a 30 kill win or something. But we decided to queue for another game, and that was a mistake because there wasn't another game. It's like a weird thing in these lobbies because it's only 200 people, right? Or like 200 trios. There was no queue. I mean, there was a queue that popped, but we didn't get into the game because we didn't have enough queue time by that time.
All right. I'm back. I just want to say one thing before I go. All right, yo, I'm back. Sorry, I'm eating. Who we're listening to right now is Razaru. And I just got to give him a hype intro because he really is the GOAT. So if I delete my camera, you'll be able to see some stuff. So good. I'll still be here, but we're gonna look at this. He's coaching Bolts, Poyo, and Rapid. He's also coaching Booga, Peterbot, and Cold. So just to put that into perspective, all year Razaru has been the best coach because he was Peterbot and Poyo's coach. He coached them to second place, first place, first place, and then world championship first place. So back to back to back wins with Peterbot. But he also coaches Vico on EU, and Vico also won a season that Peterbot won. So if you think about it, this dude went back to back, and then on EU got another back, so that's 3, and then Peterbot won Worlds, that's 4. So this dude won 4 FNCSs this year alone off of his coaching. And now Bolts, who literally copied his name, Boltsaru, because he's Razaru, literally changes his name to match his coach's name. And Bolts is next up. That's what the name of this that's the name of this episode is Who's Next Up? Well, I'll tell you. Bolt and Rapid are next up. You know, Peterbot and Poyo, they're already big, but Bolts is next up. That's why we're watching this one.
So basically the mistake was that we had too many points because we were first place by then. So we didn't get a Q pop and everyone else did. So we should have stayed in the game. We would have won both weeks probably if we did that. But I'm definitely going to go into this week because I think here we performed better as well. And then you can also, like, from just the match history, you can see that they basically popped off every single game they survived. And the other games, they died off spawn because we're landing Grim. And the strategy was landing Grim, getting some like good guns, getting some mats, and then keying into Raft for like the Raft coin. And the basic idea was playing the same loot that Pete has if he lives like Raft of spawn, and then we do the same strats. Kind of. Going for forecast, going for bunker, all that stuff, and then playing late game out with like forecast zone. Are your trios playing with normal trio roles? I mean, kind of, but it's like more one IGL and two fraggers than what we did have before. Like in old trios, I feel like there was always like one support player, right? But I haven't watched that much in trios, like the old seasons, you know? That was actually like a time where I took a break. But I feel like they're doing good right now, how they play and everything. Like as you can see here, this is how it should have been, how we expected it to be, having Grim uncon a lot, but it ended up being different. And then Grim is obviously a spot that has like 50-50 potential on the chest, so you can always lose, I would say. You can always win and you can always lose, no matter the skill, because it comes down to like getting a weapon from the chest, and the timing of that isn't gonna be that off, you know? Like your drops can't be that shit that you can't even get the weapon in time. Like that's just like being 3 seconds late or whatever. Okay, so what we did here is basically loot up, get some mats, as you can see. They're not even having, I don't know, it's like, it's not even optimized loot path or anything. It's just, they know where like good rocks and good trees are, and then they just take decent amount of shield and just run over, you know? Praying that Reft is like conned by a lot of people. That's basically what we're hoping for. Either shit people that are alive with the coin, or it's like over contested and they can steal the bot. Because sometimes they're getting in like into this, right? And they're still not taking the coin. And nobody, I can assure you that, nobody can take the coin. Wait, let me quickly do this again. Need my English keyboard again, man. This is way too slow else. Okay, I can assure you that like the teams in Raft, they're all gonna have shit mats every single time. You see, like this guy's 17, 24, and then yeah, 17. So all of them have less mats than a single person of the trio that is running in. So this is gonna be a rough fight for them either way. There's no sound anymore. Is this bugged for the entire game now? Okay, sound is back. And then you can see we cooked up some shit here, like ramping super high up into the POI on a single ramp. Like this is something you don't pay attention to, right? Like this is just, you're looting raft, you're running around. You're not gonna look there, you know? Like this is just, nobody watches that shit. You're thinking about, is Forker spawned, bunker spawned, can we go here? There might be a team coming in from here, but you're not thinking about the fucking sky base from here. So they don't even see it coming, and then they just try to spot one person in the outside and just dash on his head. Keep fizzing. It doesn't even matter. Like they still have dashes. They can never die to fall damage, right? And they're just waiting right now to see somebody in the open. They insta quick hop him, and then it's just over at this point. I think this guy has the coin as well. I'm not sure though. I don't remember. And now they're just trying to find the other guys. And then all of them are obviously like hella good at fighting, so they're really confident at this. Really, really fucking confident. especially, I think we should watch bowls a lot here, because this guy, Destiny, said like I should be looking a bit into trio fighting for you guys as well. Like if you're down for that, I'm obviously gonna try to look a bit more into that as well. And this guy is definitely the guy to watch for that. He's fighting the most, and I think he's like applying the most pressure you can see. Poe is more like a defensive player and then Rapid as well. Or like not defensive, supportive was the word I was looking for. And then from here on they have the coin, right? They have the Mythic Orc. And we just go for like the same mid-game objectives that we are trying to get. Basically what we did in Globals as well with Pete and Poyo. So we're going here. Trying to get forecast. There's a team on the hill. This doesn't really matter though, because you can just, like if this situation like here happens, you can just hide behind LOS, like behind the trees and everything, line of sight, so they can't see you. And then you use mats to get up. And the only thing you really care about at this point is the bot. Like the bot spawns most of the time downhill, like here. On this. I can't get out. It's like here, somewhere in this area, you know? Like this is the most common spot. And that's not even an advantage for this team. Like they can't even go there. Like if they try to go here, they give up high ground again, and then we can fight the guy on low ground. So whatever they do, they have to fight in a shotgun fight against the Raft coin. And 3 of the best fighters of the region. So it's gonna be not even an advantage for them. And I personally don't know these guys as well, so most of the time it's gonna be like worse players. Especially for them, they don't really care about that, right? Scan coin, go up again. And after this beam, they can't even contest it anymore. Let's see it. They're obviously killing these guys here now. The thing is, like, this is obviously a bit different in terms of fighting for like most of the people when they don't have Raftcoin, because they always have Warlock on the enemy team, so it's obviously gonna be easier, right? And I don't even think that I have like footage that I could be looking at without Raftcoin. Hopefully this is not gonna be an issue though. It's like one thing that I like about Bowles is that he's like really, really consistent with his aim. Like when he gets into like the situation where he has to hit a shot, he hits a shot, you know? Always. He has fucking incredible aim. I don't think he does anymore. I'm pretty sure he used to though, like everyone used to at some point. But I think Bowles is just playing the game a lot. Like really, 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 really much at the moment, so... Different team again. We have one guy getting the card. They're just getting searchy as well. Not that it like really matters in these lobbies most of the time. You don't need that much. They're dying out hella fast, the games, I think. Like you can see here, 52 alive. Most of the time, I think these games, you don't really need anything. But it's always better to be safe than sorry. Next goal is probably going to be Island. And they already see like the zone ahead, obviously. So on this zone pull, they see like the next one. I don't know, like from the replay, I can't tell where it is. And I don't remember exactly, but it's going to be this island over here, or this one, or like around here. Could be this one. Obviously, depending on the zone pull. And they know it, so they're going for like the most likely spawn here. And seems to be this one, next to Freaky Fields. He used to be a token god back on West. His aim was always just naturally really good. Yeah. Some people are like that. I'm not, sadly. I always had shit aim. Especially when I'm like getting nervous and everything. You see how he's like fighting here? He's always taking smart peeks. He's replacing everything. He's not even taking damage, you know? Now we have Warlocks again. Wait, what even is that? Was that not even like a joke? What the fuck? I didn't even know that. Crazy. So he's actually the goat at aiming. It's incredible. I'm gonna do it afterwards, yeah. I didn't know that. I thought it was like some sort of joke because I saw it in his Twitter bio. I guess. It's just gifted. Okay, so the zone. Okay, the island spawn was actually unfortunate here. It was either this one or this one. And there was a chance for this one as well, but I think those two are like higher chances to spawn on a zone like this because they have like naturally higher spawn rate. So that's always a bit bad when you don't pull island. I mean, obviously you want it. Damn. Wait, Merthish got third. Crazy. I mean, you just look at like the island spawns. Like if you know every single island spawn, and like I said before, right? They have seen this, the white zone, one zone ahead because they had forecast, right? And then you think in your head, like, what is the potential islands that could spawn in this? And then, I mean, you just look at like the numbers. What's the higher spawn chance? I mean, this one has a decent chance, I would say, but it's a lot of the times it's gonna be like the one under Freaky, like down here, or this one. And there's one more, I think, like here, and then you have this one, then there's like one over here. But this one already is like half outside of zone, you know? So you can already not even count for this one. So for on a zone like this, when you see this, it's only this one, like here, 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 here. Could potentially be this one as well. But that's about it. So what they did was basically go for this one and then gamble that's one of these three spawns, which was just a higher chance. It was more likely to be one of these. It was just unlucky that this one. And then this one again doesn't really help, you know? Like this spawn is just terrible because it's like so edge, and then being on it doesn't even help your team. Like you're on the island, but you insta have to leave again. Unless you have like a really, really lucky zone pull. So here you don't even care that much because you can just go into one of the pet zones and play like one of the launch pads. I mean, that's what I do, man. Looking at the stuff so the players don't have to, or at least teach them how to look at it. I mean, it's a good place to be on the island, you know? It's just the island is, I think, just like a cheat code. Like if you're on top of island, you don't even have to think that much, you know? You don't have to rotate, you don't have to like scout a lot of teams, you don't have to like think about the game as much like as other people have to. Like when you're just a team on low and running around. Like when you're on top of the island, you have a launch pad, you can fizz, you can wait a zone, you probably have forecast if you played like for it in early game, and then you can like cheat code two zones ahead with like the pad on top. And that's completely broken just for having the mats, you know? And this format that you're playing in trios right now, like the top 200, you basically have to pop off every single game if you want to win. So playing for those like things is really good. If you're good enough, obviously. You shouldn't be throwing your games. Like if you're just going for the island every single time, fighting Pete and just dying, then obviously this is not good. But if you have the chance, because you're a good fighting team or something, like you can see here, they're not even taking fights anymore. Like, I mean, they're getting a kill here on a guy gliding, I think. But it's just spray kills, you know? They don't even go for this because the position's just shit, so they just stay here. Look at the next fight, there's another team fighting over here, so we can maybe get involved in that. And they're just making sure that they don't lose a lot when they're like fighting around here. Look at it. Yeah, nobody's getting a kill here. Poy isn't, Rapid isn't, Bolts isn't. So nobody's getting a kill, so they realize that this fight is not good. And they dip off. It's a decent team as well. It's Zenito. He gets 100 pumped. The comms at this point are gonna be like, nah, I don't think this fight is worth it. Let's just go. And then they pop heals and go. I'm gonna fast forward a bit to see forecast. It's gonna go Dooms. Yeah. Like, this is why they went here in the first place, right? Because they were over here. They were like on this hill. And when we're on this hill, we're obviously gambling that it's pulling like somewhere into this direction here. But they didn't know at that point, so they had to go back into like the team over here. And then they just go into this zone. And now they see next zone again. And if they can go for it or do something about it, they will probably do it. But if it's like outside of zone here, it doesn't really matter. But they're playing this side of the zone, so I'm assuming it's gonna be around here somewhere. There's like nothing to do right now, literally. All they have to do is stay alive, keep mats up as high as they can, and then they play on the forecast zone to get height here on this. There's a lot of teams around here as well. It's like a common strategy as well, by the way. Like, a lot of the teams probably do this as well, because when you're gliding into the map, right, you see like on a bus like this, you can scout the forecast tower over here. This one, you can see it, right, when you're in the bus already. You don't even have to land in the area, but you can just look towards that direction and you can see a forecast, right? So doesn't really matter where you're landing on the map. You look at this forecast and then you can, I mean, obviously it's not going to be the case in every single game you play, but I think it's going to happen a lot that the team that is landing Raft in the game also is getting the forecast. So looking at the coin and keeping track of where it is on the map, you can like think that there might be a forecast, you know? And I think that's what's happening here in the game, because there's like so many teams around. I mean, this was just congested side as well, right? There was a lot of teams anyways here, but you can see like everyone is close to the Raft coin here. And I think they're all gambling that they have forecast as well. So when you're close to the Raft coin, you're close to zone in those cases when it's actually working. And sometimes you can tell, like in the game, right? When you see the Raft coin pulls like 3 zones in a row, it might be a little sus. They might have forecast then. So you can like play off that as well. And then, I mean, this is the second week already. Yeah, I don't know what he was cooking up there. But I think he tried to reconnect a bit more. Since we still have insane mats here, it's mostly gonna be Rapid. Like, Rapid always tarps. And then he just has Poyo and Bose frag out and get like refreshes. And he communicates pretty well, like when he needs stuff. I mean, when you have forecast like this, it's pretty easy. They just took height first moving here, and then they just keep it for the rest of the game basically. And there's not that many teams that look up in trio, especially if it's the Raft coin. And what we do here on this, like what is like one thing you can probably learn from this is that you drop the Raft coin on zone pull. So when this zone starts moving, right? Like this team on height here, they just drop the coin as soon as zone starts moving, and then you have info on every single person in the lobby because the zone is like so small at this point, and then it's really easy to keep track of flanks. So when it's the coin on height, you can't even flank with like splashes and flops and medkits. Like you can't even do that because they just see you. So that's basically what we do to keep it. So they know by this time, if we stay on height, we keep info on flanks, we can't lose the game. They see every single zone ahead. They have the best weapons in the game, and all they have to do is keep track of flanks and stay ahead and top. And they have so much meta because it's trios. Reconnects again. It literally doesn't even matter. Like, nobody can really contest it. There's like one thing that you have to keep, have to be careful of. That's like, how did this even happen now? They actually lost it. But I think they're retaking it this game. I'm gonna rewatch that because I didn't even see that. I think it was Broom. I didn't see what happened, but I think it was Broom. I'm gonna go like drone free and look. This is like a big mistake though, that we lose this game. Or like lose height this game. It should have never happened. Okay, bolts drop down for loot. We have everyone scanned. And it's this team down here, right? No, it's just a random... This team just from front zone ramped up and then one of them broomed. I mean, I was about to say that. Like, that's the one thing that you actually have to look out for right now. That you should be higher than the second high team that potentially has broomsticks, if you know what I mean. Like, they could be under you, and if the height, like the height they can reach with the broomstick is higher than the high ground you have, they can just land on it and take it off of you. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. And that's pretty much what happened this game, because like the Aaron guy, he just broomed up on height, and then there was like such a weird fight because everyone has to look at different angles. It's gonna get uncoordinated and you can just get fucked because of it. So they actually didn't win from high ground this game. This is like bad as well because they knew Focus pulls back, right? So the team that is on height is more likely to win when it pulls back. So they didn't really have a chance to even get up anymore. Exactly. The perfect height launchpad play is pretty similar to that play. This is like one thing, by the way, that I want like everyone to maybe improve on for the trios as well. Like if you have situations like that, right? You should always be really good at communicating your heals. Like whoever in the trio has what heals, right? Like in this situation, Bowles has to pop a medkit, so why is he fizzing? That's like a thing that is bad. He should be popping the medkit, dropping the fizz to someone, so it's like making the progress faster, you know? He needs to be 200 HP again, so they can like make a decision on the next zone. And this is just 10-second wasted time. And then nobody's holding this again, so he has to pop fizz again. Like right now he's fucking freaking out and mad. And then they all drop and leave him alone again. Like this was just fucking terrible, you know? This is exactly what you don't want to do, basically. But this was a mistake. You should always communicate. If you need to pop a medkit, drop the fizz to someone and tell him to fizz you. And then the other person in the trio needs to hold the builds, obviously, because you have two people that are busy. One is popping a medkit, one is popping the fizz, so the third person can't be looking for kills. He has to hold the tops, or he has to play, to place the armored walls on top. Whatever needs to be done, you know? Like, you just have to communicate it. Because if it happens like that again, it's just terrible. And I can assure you, if that's a team that is, like, worse player-wise, it might, like, they might have lost the game there. Like, that was just, in all honesty, just bad. But they're just being carried by being good here and having the ref coin, honestly. Like, that was just looking at it. When I tried to be the dick as a coach, you know? The mean guy, the mean coach, this was just fucking terribly played. Lost height for no reason, and then they messed up the heals and almost died because of it. That was not good. Let's find a better game. And sometimes I don't even see these things, right? When I'm watching screen share, I'm only looking at one person's VOD, basically. like when I live coach. So I didn't even see it out of Bo's perspective yet. That was the first time I looked at it. I mean, it's a good method, but it's not possible for everyone, I would say. The key takeaways from that game, I think, is that depending on how well you want to place in the tournaments, right? Like I'm always like that's like a thing. I'm looking at the stuff a bit different, right? Like I'm coaching teams that want to place in like the top 3. So me saying you should go reft and go forecast every game, that's like a thing that applies to the best of the best, you know? So if this doesn't apply to you, obviously, like if you're not that good at the game, then it's not gonna work out. It's pretty simple, I guess. But those takeaways are good, yeah. Where are they? Did I go into the wrong game? Huh? They're not even in the game. So confused. Oh, they died, huh? Was that possible? They won this game with 36 kills. Or did I misclick? I'm so confused. Who was up? What is it? EXD. He is actually up. And he's solo. Okay, they actually died of spawn. And then they dropped the 36. Imagine. I mean, not today, Vasco, but I mean, I'm sure if Destiny Jesus is down for that, I can also do like that in the future. Looking at like VODs or whatever you want to call it. Like today, it's planned to do this trios and then look a bit into fighting of them as well. Okay, so this game started out terrible. I think they landed Grim and lost, and then they disengaged. Like 1 hour. Looking at bowls again, I think it's best for fighting, I guess. Unless you guys want to watch someone else. If you want to look at like Poyo. Whatever you guys prefer, I'm gonna be honest. I can switch around as well, but I feel like if you really want to look into fighting, it should be bowls. IGLing should be rapid, and then I mean Poyo can also be fighting, but it's like I feel like bowls is like the most you can learn from fighting wise. Here, what was I saying? Key takeaways: communicate your heals. It's really good in trios if you have like what's the word for it? Like the not even roles in terms of IGLing and fragging, you know, like just have roles for the heals. Like who has a fizz in the team, you know? Like if the IGL says fizzers, like it should always be the same person. You shouldn't be like, do you have a fizz? Hey, you have a fizz? Wait, nobody has a fizz? Like, you know, it should always be the same person. Always have like the medkits and the fizzes on the same person. Like stuff like that. It's the small things. But then you don't even have to think about it. You can just say the name fizzers and go. And then, like obviously in situations like the game we just watched, you shouldn't really waste your time like that. That was just so inefficient by them. I was actually surprised that nobody commented. Maybe they did, but like, that was just not good. It's so easy to say, you know? I need to pop a medkit, please fizz me. Like that's so easy, and then you just drop the fizz. Like sometimes obviously you have the time to pop a big pot or whatever. But most of the games I feel like you're gonna have a lot of fizz. Okay, so this game we don't have raft, we don't have forecast. And they're still dropping a 36 kill win. I should have insta-looked into this game. It's probably way better. You see they're using this a lot as well. This team, no. Oh, this is Raft coin as well, right? Oh, this is Raft coin. We do have Raft this game. Looking at this. I mean, this is just like a cheesy strat we used to do in like we planned for globals. With the the dashes you have in this area, you can do some crazy stuff. Like this sky basing part. We had that for globals as well. Like Rapid was doing that a bit in the games as well. Like instead of doing it here, obviously, because at globals he was landing uncontested Grim, right? So they had Grim, and then what we did a lot was like taking this hill early, like after he looted some of the chest ones, and as soon as he got like a good orc, and then you have Baka and Pass always going for this loot over here. Like there's this god chest over here with like a few bots, so it's always taking some time for him to loot it, right? And then you have Raft as well. Sometimes Pete was leaving here, but this timing was a bit off. Like Pete was just too fast to see. And then you have Trashy at globals that tries to go for the bunker over here. So what Rapid did, he went to this, and then he literally just skybased and brick up into this direction. Like he was sometimes just up here, you know, in the middle of nowhere. And then you can't even peek it that well because he's like in such a like high position that you're always at a disadvantage when you peek him. And if you shoot it out, you're always in the open for him as well. Like let's say you're trying to shoot it out from here and you break his ramp, he can probably see you and you don't even get anything from it anyways. You're just wasting ammo to make him go away, basically. So you don't even get anything from doing it. That's basically the point of it. So when people break you out, you just dash once, you stay alive, you don't take fall damage, and you're chilling. And if they don't shoot you out, you have best vision in the game, like 150 meters up in the sky, and you can just shoot everyone that you see. So it was like a good strat to just get search in a Grand's Globals lobby, and we kind of adapted for this one to just pop a fist, dash on someone's head, and kill him. Like that's also like a thing. Nobody looks at that. Nobody's looking that high into the sky. When they're just running around in dash area. So now they killed the Raft coin team. They don't have forecast this game though. Different team doing the same shit. Oh, I remember this. I think he clipped someone in this fight, so you're about to have some good content here. I think he showed that like afterwards. He was like, nah, you don't even know what I did to the kids on Visual Split. That's what he said. I remember it. Oh, damn! He hit him with a reverse piece, actually. What? That was crazy. Gotta look at it again. I mean, that's just like... He is so aware in fights of like knowing what to do. I think he tried to break this guy's rams as well. He wasn't even looking at first, and then he just turns around, pieces him like from the outside. He puts a cone below and above, and then this guy is just trying to jump out. Window pieced, wall behind. Damn. He's actually full caged. What? And they killed the other guy. Last guy dips, but I think they killed this guy as well. He just dashes on his head. Yeah, maybe you should look into that. He's actually the fighting goat. Ever since he moved 0, he can actually quick that the fights as well, like hella fast. I mean, you wanted me to look at opens, TJ, but they're just doing the same shit in finals. I swear, there's no difference in the opens and finals at this point. They're just full keying. But this is finals. What do you mean? Opens, not finals? I feel like they don't really care that much in opens, if I'm honest. Like in opens, they just play to play. And if they want to key, they key. It's like so easy for them to qual as well. The thing about like trios is like the state it is in right now, I think is like really weird. Because most of these, like the lobbies, you just have to perform so well to even be close to like top 5. If you're not performing every single game, you're just out already. Like, I think Pete and Rapid's trio have played really, really, really well in both weeks, and then you still have Chimp just having more points because he plays 7 end games. Like, that's actually crazy to me that they had more points. I basically only watched like wins, and it wasn't enough. Yeah, exactly. I mean, for Pete, it's obviously different. I mean, we had some ego shit this week going on as well. Like they tried to kill Pete in one of the games, and then Pete just Uno reversed them next game. So they wasted a lot of time in that. I think they could have won Pete. Like Pete could have won this week if he didn't do that in the second game or third game, whatever it was. They wasted hella time for that. But it's still like it's so hard to play from Reft. It's always contested Reft. And it's so many people running around. When I compare that to like whatever like Shimp and Skittles are doing, they're landing Freaky in that area, and they just take forecast whatever forecast spawned. Like they land either on this split or like in Freaky, whatever is uncontested, I think. And then they run over to this forecast over here, they run over to this one, and then they just play forecast into like not even taking that many fights. And most of the games they're just on height and have a lot of kills because of it. I think it's just natural to have like 10 plus kills in trios if you're on high ground. You're just killing everyone that is just running around jumping with Fizz effect. There's no favorite player to coach, I'm gonna be honest. It's all the same for me, I'm gonna be honest. I think he's supposed to not be tanking here, by the way, because of winning the game. Like he was standing in zone, right? To not take zone damage here. And then he went into zone anyways. I mean, some of the games, they don't really go into heal off, so it doesn't matter that much. But if you want to play optimal, obviously you wouldn't tank that much zone, because this is like taking a few seconds away. Like 5 by now, I think. Yeah, 5 seconds. Probably Vipers, yeah. Oh, they had spare heals, that's why they did it. I mean, this is always like a good thing to do as well. When you're really, really confident into your fighting skills or like fighting abilities, then they don't even lose anything from this. They just dealt like 100 damage, had the chance of killing that guy, and got out again.
Yo, Linoshi. Yo, Linoshi. My boy. Yes, I read chat. I'm just busy. My mistake, my G. Yo, what up, my G? Tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how is your day going? I'm at a 10, but I'm locking in, VOD reviewing. On a scale of 1 to 10, how's your day going? Alright, now back to the video.
It's a good thing to do. Damn, he's fast. He's not even using that much, isn't he? I feel like when he takes like normal fights, he isn't even like over editing or like over piecing and stuff like that. He's just killing the guy. But then sometimes he's doing that, just edit cursing the guy. Remember, this game we didn't have forecast, so right? I think they didn't, unless they got a different one that I like missed an early game. But I think that's impossible. So this is gambling, but it's a good gamble. Didn't have forecast. But it's good to be up there. Like on this position. Like on this, it is really good to be on anyways. Like they went up early for like the first intention to go up here is they might pull zone. Right? Like when they pull zone here, they insta win the game. Same shit as they did last game, or like the first game we watched. If they pull zone here, they're just gonna keep it for the rest of the game. They're gonna be reft coin on height. Nobody's like doing anything to them unless there's like a broom flank that we had in first game. But they should be able to like counter strat it. Like it's just last game it was a mistake. Okay, I'm supposed to be watching Blake here. What's happening? Is he getting clipped by bolts? Uh-oh. Oh shit. Oh hell no. I mean that's like it's like a crazy clip, but like thinking about that he has Ravkine and Warlock on him makes it a bit less impressive in my opinion. Like you see, like they know every single position here, right? Like those fights, he just sees every one of them. He sees this guy doesn't even look at them, you know? Like he sees everything. He sees this guy has a shotgun, this guy has a blueprint in his hand. Tries to piece him here, okay. This one already almost worked. He dashes. So like the dash here is really good because this guy doesn't expect it, right? He just changed elevation by so much. Like Blake didn't even think about this cone in the first place, like here, top cone. He didn't even think about it because like Boats was so far down, it was impossible to place the cone. And then he dashes up, places the ramp to catch himself, and puts the cone above. See? And then he quad edits out, puts all the walls, and he's full boxed. But that's like the difference, I guess. Shit. You guys hear that? Hopefully not. It is well played though, obviously. I mean, it's obviously a mistake by Blake as well. Like, he should always have like at least one wall, you know? That's what I try to always say when you're like fighting in those kind of situation, that you should always have one control wall where you can go out and leave the box. So either have the left or the right, whatever is easier to edit for you. It's probably gonna be the right wall, no? To edit out. We did that last week or the week before. I don't remember exactly, but that was the VOD that I couldn't record because my drive was full, and then I just deleted the files, I think. And this is like the difference. This is like really good as well, because here you can see what happens if you don't have focus. Like this max pull, right? He just insta fizzes and is ready to take over the next position. So this is like really important for this, that you don't overthink it too much and just stay AFK on your base and just see what the lobby does. Like here he knows if it pulls that way, they already have it marked as well. Here. He knows, like if it pulls that far, we just fizz and ramp over. Like even before the zone pops, I think. Just insta runs over. And even if they get shot out, it doesn't matter, right? Like they're just on fizz and he reaches the position anyways. And then here it's important to see what team was like looking at high ground and to focus them a bit so they can't contest it. And I think it was that team over there. I think we have 2 in every game. Do we? No, they have 3 fizzes this game. When they're playing for height, they're doing that a lot, yeah. Having a fizz on each and every run, so they can like fizz whenever they get chopped. But I'm gonna be honest, like in trios, it feels a bit different. Like being on height in trios is just like, from what I've been watching, there's not a lot of people looking up. So this game they tanked a lot of zone as well, or like a bit at least on 2-tick. So they actually like tanked a lot, yeah. So they have to like make the game die early. If there's a guy running into zone with 5 medkits on last second, then they lose. And they're obviously running a bit into the kids' boxes here to just get frags as well, because they need to catch up a bit. Oh shit. What? Okay, this was the one on Twitter. Damn, he's good. He is good at the game, man. What the fuck? It's like the same thing again, right? Like he does like things where you cannot expect it as the enemy. Like they didn't block the back off here, so did it already happen? Yeah, it did. Like here it is, right? The first tag, this guy. There is no way he sees that, or like he has the awareness for it. Because he's coming outside of zone. Gets this kill here because he dies to zone. And then he sees the open wall here. And that's like a thing in trios that happens a lot, I think. It doesn't matter if he tanks zone here. There's Siphon in the game. I think this week was the 75 Siphon, like over time. I'm not sure though. And they're not even looking at it. Like he instantly knows that there's like no control in the box, whatever. Like whatsoever. They don't have control. They didn't place any of the walls. He didn't place like the back walls over here. because this guy just died. Like it's the teammate as well, I think. And then like they didn't block the back because probably this guy usually does it. Like he probably usually closes the walls behind, and then they didn't even know that. So there was no back walls in the box, and he just runs in and gets control of all the walls because he's zero ping. So he's more likely to get them like faster anyways. Maybe that's an L teammate, yeah. And he's still taking good peaks as well, right? He's always like he edits like a window into the wall where he can't be shot, because like it's really important on these things in late game. Like you can go fast and you can do hella fancy edits and stuff like that, but it's important that you use good edits all the time, because those peaks you're doing here can always be a trio looking back. And that's the one thing you need to be careful of. So obviously this game again, like this is why they are going down and doing all of that stuff as well. They have the raft coin, they see everyone. So when he smacks on a trio, he knows if they're looking back, you know? Like Poyo's doing the same thing, right? He's going, like he's smacking back walls from like people outside of zone and just like making it confusing for the enemies to hold it or like to counter strat it. Then we see this team, it's a trio again. Poyo drops on a wall, he gets the wall, this guy doesn't even look back. And they see all of that. So I wouldn't even tell like any one of you guys to ever do this without the coin. This is just what they're doing right now is literally trolling. You can only do this if you're straight up wall hacking or you have the raft coin. Like you have no confidence in like whatever situation you're in, whatever fight they're taking here. Like there's a team outside of zone here popping medkits. They could easily just run in with Fizz and kill either Rapid or Poyo because they don't have awareness for it. But because they have the coin, they might be able to see it, you know? That's like the difference here. He knows. You saw it. He saw them outside of zone playing medkits. And he dies, running in. So he gets overheated here. It's also a thing. Sometimes you're running into the moment and just doing too much. But in these like late games, I think it doesn't even matter. Like if one of them dies here because they're trying to drop like the highest kill win ever, or like trying to max out the points, like that late into the game, they can almost not lose it anymore. Everyone else is most likely gonna be more scuffed. And Poyo's job here is literally to just like be annoying for the last guys alive to like so they can't play heal off. Like it's important to make them go early into zone. And then there's like a huge fuckfest on low ground. Everyone is scuffed because of it. Nobody has like builds to do anything, and then even like he's alive as a solo, and it could be a trio alive, and he would still win the game. It doesn't matter because it's so late into the game. And if these guys don't have heals, they don't, right? They don't have medkits. He has. He splashes and flops. He gets attack on them. Like he even has the confidence to shoot back for a second. He still has one dash, so he always like dashes and like Fizz dashes away, and then they can't even catch up. Like it's impossible for them to catch up. He's just safe when he does this all the time. So the key of like the gameplay is basically they try to get raft coin. So the first point why this is really important is the raft coin gives you the confidence to go for any fight in the game. Like any fight in the game is just easier with the raft coin. And then they take forecast because forecast is the thing that actually wins you the games. The raft coin doesn't. In my opinion, the raft coin is pretty useless for winning a game. Like it's just giving you confidence in fights. You can see everyone. You cannot like get awareness checked and stuff like that. But the like the forecast is actually the thing that wins you the games. You see every zone ahead. You can play hide first moving, and then there's nobody that can ever take it off of you because you just know everything is zone ahead. And there's only one team in the entire lobby that has the same information. Like it's most likely going to be Freaky Fields because that forecast has 50%. We could look at like one more. Which one do you guys want to watch? The last one? Or this one? This one? I'm gonna go this one. Another high kill win. It's probably Raft coin as well again. Can look into Rapid's POV a bit, yeah. I watch Rapid. Rapid is always screen sharing. This is like one thing for Grim of Spawn as well. It's getting pretty hectic in this sometimes. Okay, so this game we had best drop. So the other team, I don't know what they're cooking with the drops, but this is definitely not it. But it's basically the same strategy always. Like they try to get the chest and then pickaxe down into this floor, break this floor, then they drop into the red or like the green water, dash water, and then they dash into this window and break the floor. They go out here and then they dash on someone. And it literally doesn't matter what gun you get. Like you're gonna see they don't even pop the top barrels here because this other team just had like the worst drops ever. So they just run at them before they open chests. This guy didn't even have like a weapon, I think. Yeah, he didn't have anything. And then they pop 140 barrels. And this spot is a lot about like just running at them. They're always like all the teams, they're just split around in the spot, right? Like everyone's just running around on their own. And usually in the fight, you're gonna be 190 HP against 100. And even if the guy finds a gatekeep, like the gatekeep's probably the worst weapon like he can find out of one chest. But the point is, you're just taking one gun and you're running at him. The guy doesn't have like meds to protect himself. And in most cases, he doesn't have a shotgun. So it's gonna be a fight where you have double HP against like the same weapon. And you're always winning that. I mean, because they're doing the same. I think Swings and Canada were doing like the same strat where they just land Grim and then key into Ref to get like the coin and play a normal game out. That's why it's like so annoying for Pete as well, right? When Pete is playing Raft and he just lands Raft, unless he gets it uncontested, there's always like 2 or 3 teams in Raft, and then you have these guys coming over as well. And it's not only Rapid, you know? It's Rapid, and then it's Canada, and then it's Ayomzo, or like whoever he was playing with. Like you have so many teams doing this. Sometimes it's like the Baka and Pass split as well on here, like on this. This team always comes in as well. But this is like the perfect situation. They just wiped the team off spawn. They had the shittiest drops as well, and then like these teams in here are still fighting. Like nobody can do anything about it. When they're just playing good, they just win. I think the coin is not taken yet. So what they should be doing, like now they cleared like one full team, right? They have no info on the second team. It might be 3 guys. But I would say the best thing you can do, because they have cap mats, is just kill the bots, and that's what they're doing. And now when they kill the bot, the other team is either forced to run away or forced to fight. That's basically what's happening here. And it's still 3 people alive. And then when you look at this, they have 20, 12, and 34 builds. So it's basically unplayable for them. They don't have enough mats. Bolts has like the mats of the entire team in one person, so they could just crank whatever they want and still win it. And now the other team has no Raft coin, shit mats, probably no heals because they were in a fight before, and we are just having everything, and they cannot do anything about it. And they're just like healing up, recycling cycling the Raft coin around, and then they just bloom battle them as well, right? Because they see them. It's like it doesn't even matter like the Logan peak they have. Poyo gets in, he dies. They heal him really quick, and I think they go for forecast next again. Same shit as the first game basically. So this was 28 kill win, right? And it's like the same shit we did. They still have better mats. They still have better mats than the team, or like as Pete would be having when going for forecast right now. But he's like they are a bit later than he would be. The bot is about to spawn. I think it's like 20 seconds or something. So we need to be a little bit quick. But this is like the launch pad next to Raft is just perfect as well, right? Because you can just fizz pad to this mountain. Even if you take some damage here, it doesn't really matter. You just heal up and then they can fight. Like it's the same fight they had earlier against 20 in the POI. They obviously have more mats here, but it's still, you're fighting Warlock against no Warlock with the best guns. And even then, you can just go for the bot. You don't even have to fight this team. Oh, this is Pass and Baka as well, by the way. So they didn't even key into the POI this game, they just keyed to the forecast. But you see what I mean, right? Like there's just no point like in these fights. Like the peak he just did, you would never do that without the coin. Wait, is there a second team? I swear I see like 9 people around here. Oh, almost. I mean, this fight is already a bit more hectic because it's better people in here. You can already see it. But it's still, like the Raft coin gives you such an advantage in those fights. And the thing is, if they kill this team now, they probably basically already won the game because they don't have to do anything for the rest. It's literally just playing mats and hide. Who's killing someone here? Oyo, I guess. Yeah, like this, you know? You can't even do anything against that as the team. Like the team that is trying to fight them right now. Like they can't do anything. It's always just lurking into beaming. And they do this without mats as well. Oh. That's a cell. And then here it's like big teamwork again. A thing that I'm always like trying to get my teams to do is as well like keeping the third guy alive. Like this is so important, you know. You can always have one person reviving and one person holding the walls. So if you have good team play in those situations, it doesn't even matter if one gets knocked. Like you have armored walls in the game right now. You have everything. Like you have so many options of things to do to keep your teammate alive, even if he's knocked. Like even if you're fighting like 2 versus like a new trio, you know? You have so much time and you have so many things to think about and do. You mean the last guy? I mean, he was probably trying to like clutch it up or knew that he doesn't have any option. I mean, they would have camped card here as well, I think. Just no point in wasting time. It's just an obvious play here to sit on the card for 5 minutes. They even pulled zone. There's nothing to do. It's like he has to go for the cards if he wants to play the game out. So it's a free kill if we just wait for him. And then if he doesn't go for the card, he has to play as a solo, which is no option in my opinion, because you only play 3 hours. So in 3 hours, you need to have, like I said before, like a really, really good match history to win. And they're trying to win, so it's just to go next angle. Don't waste time, go next game. Next game they can get the card. Or like the raft coin, whatever, you know? You always put yourself into like a win con position. And if you don't have win con position, you don't play. That's at least what we are doing. Like when you're aiming high, you need to do those things. No problem. I mean, they know that this guy is a solo, or at least split from his team. That might be a teammate of these guys. Yeah. I mean, like, I actually want this coin to go away. Like, holy shit, can we not have this shit for next season, man? Like, it feels like you're watching a guy, you know, like wall hacking his ass off. He just knows everything. This is so stupid. And it's gonna be like this, like every single team you watch. That's the weird thing about trios right now as well. I don't like it. I would have liked set lobbies way more because it's just more competitive. There's like one team in the lobby that has the coin. But if you look at the top 10 of like trios, it's always gonna be like the team that goes raft or like ends up having the raft coin. At least what I think. Like it's gonna be a lot. I think it is, yeah. The dash medallion is like it's like a game-winning condition, right? Having the coin from Grim, that was really good to have. And you can like have a strategy around it. But the raft coin is like you kill every single person you see on the map. Especially when you're like Peter bot with the coin. That's just you're one of the best fighters, or like the best fighter in the game, and you have Warlex on the enemy team for the entire time. So you just walk at someone, you kill him, you have cap mats again. And then late game, you see every single solo, so you can just spray your gun into the wall and just get in, kill him, and you have cap mats again. I think it's... If you're making use of it, it's better than the Grim coin. I feel like every single person could make use of the Grim coin, but if you're really good at fighting, you can make use of the Raft coin, and then it's OP. And then it's way, 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 way better than Grim. But it depends on like how you use it, obviously. For example, I wouldn't say Trulex is good with the Raft coin. He would win every single Grand with the Dash coin, but he wouldn't with Raft. Because it almost makes no difference for his playstyle. He's always just good game plan into winning the game, making top 5 every single game, and if he has Dash coin, he's gonna win every single game, because that's the difference maker for him. But then you have Pete on Raft. That's just another story. I mean, you always used to get one dash, like when you picked it up, so you could like drop the coin, you instantly have one dash, and then, yeah. But I get the point, it takes like so much time in trios to like recharge your entire team to 3. And then you have Ref, you just drop it once and... Hey look, there's Chimp and Skittles in this game as well. They won the tournament. 18 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go back and see where they landed this game. It's probably gonna be like freaky area. Yeah, you see? They're landing on this split, like next to the forecast every game. And then they have forecast and play the same. Like they're basically playing like the low kill version of what they are doing. But they are winning because they don't die off spawn and they just have more games to play. And there's like a like the timing in these is like so important. It's just 1 point per kill. So whenever they change the format back to like 2 points per kill, I think Pete might actually, or like both of my teams actually might be winning again. It's just literally the difference maker. They're just having way more kills and way less placement points. And right now placement points has more value, so we're losing by being stubborn, honestly. I think Bowls and Rapid and Poyo could just play Grim, not key Raft, get forecast every game, and then just play for placement and hide and win. And they would probably win the tournament then if they did that. It's just a bit gambling or like risking your game because you don't have a lot of time. If they die on forecast tower, like this game was close, right? It was like a different good team on the forecast tower, and if they would have died to them, it's just 10 minutes down the drain. And then you're running into 5-minute queue time because it's 190 people in queue, and then your tournament is almost over. Making good use of dashes here again. But you see what I mean here, right? Like this is basically what I was saying earlier. Like they're just taking a fight again, and they had the chance to kill them. They ended up like not killing them here, but it was a chance to get another refresh on like edge zone here. And if they kill those guys, they have 5/5 each on first moving. And how do you lose with 5/5 each on first moving, being on height with Raft coin? Everyone is playing a solid gold. It's literally impossible. Unless you like jump off of high ground without fizz. I don't know. Like it's actually hard to like lose the game at that point. And then we pre-build again into zone. Like this is all just, he knows where next zone is going, I think. Just pre-builds a lot. Even if he gets shopped here, it's like, doesn't matter, he has dashes. And then he keeps his like metal builds. Like the plan is to just have the metal builds be like full build as soon as possible. Because then it's hard to chop out. And I think here he tried to reconnect. Or like at least get to lower elevation so they don't die to fall damage. And this is like what I'm saying earlier again. Like there's not a lot of people looking up. There's actually not a lot of teams in trios looking up. There's nobody like doing anything fancy to it. Like I swear you could have a trio like full front zone here looking up at them and they would actually struggle to win the game. Or at least have a challenge, you know? But they're just on height, nobody looks up, they're just tarping and then at some point the game ends. It's just that easy. I mean, it's obviously, why would you risk your game if you just have medkits and you can play mid ground and not die? That's probably what everyone else is thinking on low ground, if I'm honest. And you're running into the raft coin as well when you fight. I mean, that's like what everyone is thinking, right? Like everyone in the entire lobby right now thinks the coin team is on height. The coin team is on height. They see us. They have us marked. Like it's actually so weird. I have had like these situations before as well, where I'm like thinking, and then, what if they see you? Can you really flank height? What if they see you? Maybe it's not even the height team. Like maybe it's not even the ref team on height, and you're just not flanking height because you think it's ref. Like that's so many like things coming into play. Like all of these games they just played in this is just going on height with forecast, and then nobody looks up. And hopefully this works for like more people, I guess. But it's obviously not that easy to do. Still has 50 builds. Like this is crazy. Second height is really good, yeah. I feel like how the meta is right now, it doesn't really matter like where you're at. I mean, if the team on height is like playing super aggressive on you, you obviously have to get away of like second height at some point, because like you saw in this game, they're just dropping down and killing everyone. So that's not an option, right? You don't want to die to that. But you have armored walls, and if the team on height is not dropping down and just spraying, then who gives a fuck? Let them be, man. But this is like they're playing hella aggressive, right? At this point, you're like, you know that they're playing aggressive. So when you see this happening, you either fight back or you drop down. That's your two options, I guess. Like this team here, for example. This is just unfair, am I right? That's just a reveal coin. He knows there's a fucking second guy in the box playing medkits. This guy, he just walks out of his box. He would have never looked there. You can't like compete against it, I think. Like if you really want to win trios, you have to do this, I think. You cannot win trios without this. Like it's just impossible in my opinion. You can have like a decent placement, you can get top 10, and you can play super consistent in most of the games, but I feel like if this happens every like week, there's gonna be like a coin team with Forecast that just does this and wins. Or like another Forecast team, you know? Like Chim, for example. They just play Forecast every game. They don't play Ref, they play Forecast. They don't die, play Forecast, win every game. And then they win the tournament by it. First week it was like the game where Pete and Rapid didn't get a Q, so they lost because of it. And then yeah, it's like stuff like that that changes the leaderboard in the last few games. It's literally just important to not run out of games and have decent games. I mean, if I would be like looking at stuff like that if I was you guys, depending on if you're playing opens or like playing in finals, however good you are. I feel like I would just look into a split that has Forecast, like a chance of getting it. And there's like some of it, you know, that you can play to optimize the gameplay. I would say that's really good to do. Like here, when I look at the map, right? There's this Forecast down here, but can I? Oh, we can. How nice is this? When you see like all of these Forecasts, you can like think about spots already, right? And you don't even have to copy paste stuff that like all the teams are doing. So I'm not saying land Grim in the next one, key ref and do Forecast every game. That's like what a lot of people are doing. So I think what's really good is to do some stuff that is like different from like other people. For example, like Nitrodome. Nitrodome could be good, right? You can ring to this, you can ring to this, you can walk to this, and then you have Forecast every game with 5/5 each, and your center map, so you didn't tank zone. I feel like Nitro is so underrated right now in trios. That could be like the same chances. Obviously, you're gonna be like, if you fight or like you walk to this Forecast, you're gonna be running into a team a lot. Like the team from Ref is probably gonna fight you for it, but if you're confident and if you're good at fighting, why wouldn't you? You can even make it to this one from Nitro, by the way. From Nitro, you loot up, you get like 500 metal, and then you walk to this ring, you ring over and you take this Forecast. And then from Nitro, you can walk to this. You can walk to this, and then you can also beat the timing of Raft on this one. And then you can just fight it in opens, right? That's like a good option you could do. Or Grand Glacier. Grand Glacier can pet on this. 50 spawn chance. And when this one doesn't spawn, it's this one or this one. Banger strats, man. I got you guys in opens.